New Hampshire's two-year political cycles get their first warm-up with municipal races, and the contest for mayor in Manchester is shaping up to be competitive with three candidates now in the running. We've heard from the challengers. Today we get to connect with the incumbent, Mayor Joyce Craig. Mayor, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Adam. It's great to be here.
So you're in the midst of arguably the most difficult two-year period the city has seen in a very long time. What's the goal of a third term?
Well, the goal of the third term is to effectively get the city back to where we were pre-pandemic. We were making such tremendous progress with our public schools, with economic development, with addressing some of the challenges here in the city. And certainly the pandemic put a pause on our progress. But now there's light at the end of the tunnel, and we're working hard to get us back to where we were and better.
Just had a shooting downtown in Elm Street. Of course, those people knew each other, so it wasn't exactly one of those random situations. A big standoff at a new hotel in the Mill Yard. The stats are one thing for crime in Manchester, but how do you deal with that perception for some people who say it's just not safe enough to bring families downtown anymore?
So as you mentioned, from a statistical perspective, as a result of the hard work of the Manchester Police Department, crime is down for the fifth year in a row here in the city of Manchester. And I am extremely grateful for the focus of Chief Aldenberg and the Manchester Police Department in addressing crimes that are as a result of guns. And so they are laser focused on that right now. We're working together in addressing that, and they're updating the blueprint for crime prevention here in the city. They're working with the community, bringing them together to address that. We've increased patrol in our downtowns, and in my last budget, I've increased the complement of police officers here in the city of Manchester, actually for the third year in a row. So it's important that the community understands we take this seriously, and we are working together to address this critical issue. Our city is safe. We want to encourage people to be downtown and be comfortable throughout our city. And it's, again, important that everybody knows we are taking this seriously and we are doing everything we can to address it.
Another component of the issue downtown is obviously homelessness. The pandemic took that into a completely different dimension, where you had to have the camps there where people were living for an extended period of time, and things came to a head with that fight over the courthouse, the people who were there who had to be evicted. How do you respond to critics who say you should have been more aggressive on the city side in trying to deal with that problem, rather than just saying, well, the courthouse, that's state property, they have to deal with it?
So I think it's important to note that we were in the middle of a pandemic, and our shelter here in the city of Manchester, the main shelter, is Families in Transition. As a result of the pandemic, they had to decompress, and they went from about 170 beds down to 70 beds. And so individuals who are unhoused lived outside. And in order to keep our community safe, we abided by the CDC guidelines and supported those encampments for a temporary period of time. And since then, we have done everything we can to get people into shelters and provide them with medical support, with mental health counseling, with housing support. Through the winter, we worked with FIT and implemented another shelter for fatality prevention. And again, we're doing everything we can to get people who are unhoused into housing and shelter, because we know that's the only way that we can stabilize individuals. Right now, people who are living unsheltered, many of them are dealing with significant mental health issues and substance abuse issues. And so while we're doing and continuing to do the outreach on a daily basis to individuals, we need to get them stabilized, and shelter and housing is the only way to do that. One thing that I'm very optimistic about is the American Rescue Plan and the funds that are coming directly to the city of Manchester. We will be receiving $43 million. And my recommendation will be that we set up an affordable housing trust with some of those funds, so that we can effectively increase supportive, affordable, permanent housing in the city of Manchester for individuals who desperately need it. Also, recently, I have put forward 2 RFPs to utilize basically underutilized parking lots here in the city of Manchester for mixed-use housing, which would include affordable housing. And so, we're working toward increasing housing opportunities for individuals, not only who are unhoused, but for people who are want to be here. We know that people want to be and work and live here in the city of Manchester. One other thing to note is that we utilize federal funds to hire for the first time a director level position, someone who will focus solely on the homelessness situation here in the city of Manchester, as well as increasing shelter and housing opportunities. She's been here for 3 weeks. She is working with all of the nonprofits, with the faith-based community like we have been for the last couple of years, as well as the businesses and residents to address the situation.
A difficult problem to solve, and obviously we'll be keeping track of how that goes. Now, even prior to the national refocusing on race that we saw in the wake of the killing on George Floyd, you had said you wanted to see the full diversity of Manchester better reflected at City Hall. How would you assess your progress there, and what steps have you taken to diversify the city workforce?
So we have implemented a committee here that's a liaison to my department. So we're working closely with them to work directly with our community members. We, as a result of the work that we've done with them, we've brought in training for all of our city employees for diversity and cultural competency. So that's been an exciting opportunity for everyone here that's front-facing, that works for the city of Manchester. On the school district side, we're hiring a director of equity and also focusing on that from a district-wide perspective to ensure that every student in the city of Manchester is receiving the same quality education as every other student. We want to make sure that that anyone who comes into City Hall or lives in our city or goes to our schools has equal opportunities and understands that we are a very welcoming community and want to encourage that. We've also focused on representation on our committees and commissions here in the city of Manchester, and they are more representative of our community.
What's your plan to reach those young students who are really disconnected from their education? The online learning just didn't work for them. You've got an entire cohort here who potentially have seen the trajectory of their lives altered. So what are you going to do with Manchester schools to make sure they can come back up to speed?
Sure. I think it's important to note that I'm a parent of a student who went through remote learning this year and saw firsthand how difficult it was. But in terms of outreach, the school district is working with multiple partners in the city of Manchester, the Boys and Girls Club, the Y. We're working with Manchester Housing Authority, ensuring that we have those connections and working with other partners to ensure that there's collaboration in reaching not only the students but the families so they understand what opportunities are available. The school district has an extensive number of summer learning programs that are fun but have incorporated learning in them because we know there's been some learning loss as a result of this last year, not only in the Manchester School District but across our country, and ensuring that parents understand that every student has the opportunity to enroll in any of these summer programs is critical. We've worked hard and partnered with the library as well. We have a wonderful bookmobile that goes out to parks and to housing developments, gives out books to students for them to keep. And so that's another opportunity. We are encouraging reading and doing partnerships with other businesses to encourage reading as well.
The problems are real, but so are the positive developments. You've got one of the hottest real estate markets in the country in Manchester. People want to move here. How do you change the school system to meet their needs, to make sure they want to stay?
So again, it's looking at how do we best meet the needs of the students in Manchester. The superintendent has been proposing things such as increasing graduation credits, making sure that we have curriculum in place, which we haven't had before, understanding that the education that we provide in our district meets the needs of the work that is available in the city of Manchester. So we're making and have been making these changes over the last few years to ensure that when students graduate, whether they go to college, whether they go into the service, or whether they go into the workforce, they are in a place that that they'll be most successful to meet their needs, but also contribute to our community.
Now, in 2019, or sorry, it was 2015, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself, Mayor Gatsis won a third term and they did a quick turnaround and ended up running for governor. A lot of people think you could do the same thing. Are you going to run for governor in 2022?
I'm running for mayor, and I'm committing to if I win, and I hope I win, and I ask for the support of the voters of Manchester, I commit to staying here as mayor of the city of Manchester. This is the best job that I've ever had. I get to work with the community that raised me, and I look forward to doing and continuing the work that we've been doing.
So you are ruling it out or not ruling it out there?
I am committing to running for mayor and staying mayor of the city of Manchester for the term as it is.
All right, Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig, we will see you out there on the campaign trail. Thanks for joining us on Close Up.
Thanks, Adam.